Mine's got problems. Jimmy doesn't have any, and Ned, you got the wrong band. Ned doesn't have any. So let's. I'll tell you what. Let's do. What's that?
You gotta have tuners for that one too. You gotta have tuners for that.
Earl didn't use them. I'll do it without. I'll give it a shot. See what happens.
I don't see how throws a charge. What the heck?
Right in there.
There's a couple of really cool Earl Scruggsy things about that tune, but the first one is the first time that Earl recorded that song, he had yet to invent the tuners. They didn't exist. He didn't have them, and so if you listen to the first version, you know, the early recording of that tune, Earl just did it by hand like that. He sort of envisioned the sound, you know, he knew what he wanted it to do, and so he just went for it. He just went in and did it. And there's at least one time, which break is it?
Oh, it's the fiddle break. You can hear it tuning behind.
It's right
sharp. It's very
yeah, there's one of them where he hits it and he goes, and he just comes back, you know, to somewhere just really awful, and you hear. But what he did is the same thing that Jim did right there. You'll hear on that version he went. And as soon as he hits that C chord, it comes out, you know, he hears that awful note. But then instead of the end where you would typically play that, he goes, he just leans on the third string and digs in on it because it's like, well, that one's still pretty good. And then if you listen really close, in the background, all the fiddles, yeah, da-da-da-da-da-da, he's back to you hear the banjo.
Another cool thing, Earl told me a cool thing about that particular tune and these tuners. He said, like Ned said, he recorded it without any kind of a detuner, just a regular tuner like he's using right there. And he said the crowd response was so great after they recorded this song that it was just running crazy. They wanted it every night. People were requesting it. So he said, man, I've got to figure out a way to get this banjo back in tune. So he basically sat down and invented the detuner that we all take for granted today. You know, everybody's got them on their banjos almost, and he worked that out of necessity. And it's a cool story. He told me they were living in Raleigh, North Carolina in 1952, working on WPTF radio there. Station's still in business, television station. But he said one night he got home from working the radio station that day. He'd had enough of trying to get that banjo back in tune. He laid it down on the couch and took a brace and bit and drilled a big hole right through the peg head and put that detuner peg in there and said pearls flying everywhere. That's where he put the first one on in my hometown. He just put it on the B string to start with and played it like that for a while, and then he decided to put one on the third string, and that's when you hear stuff like Flint Hill Special and all those great songs. But we owe Earl a lot. He came up with a lot of things that we all take for granted.